Good morning, everybody. I was grateful that I could fall back asleep earlier. Oh, my eye's hurting though. Oh, I hate when that happens. Like eye strain and pain. It's raining out. My windowsill. Oh, sorry. My window has what's in the inside. It's like backwards. The glass on the outside. I think the screen on the inside. Because the window goes out like this. All the windows are like twisty windows and not lifty windows. You know what? I'm gonna try to open this window. Last time we tried to open the window to get fresh air in, which was like forever, like I feel like a year ago. We had a warm day. I finally opened the window. Didn't want it to be stuffy. Come in the room. It reeks of nasty smoke, not just regular smoke. I look out the kitchen window. I see a fire in a flower pot next to a building. This lady who smokes, her stuff got all her cigarette butts were in this flower pot, and it caught on fire, and it was ablaze. We were supposed to go somewhere, and I watched this because all these buildings are connected. A whole bunch of buildings are connected. Ours is just a few feet from that building, and then all these buildings are connected. Anyways, it's like the whole 2 blocks is like connected. And I'm like, oh my god, there's about to be a fire. So I'm like, I'm not leaving until that fire goes out. I put out a fire before at Pizza Hut. Someone came in and said they had fire on the bark chips. And it was blazing. I had to get a ton of water. I was in the restaurant alone, putting out a fire, grabbing all these containers of water. I don't even know what happened. I know I didn't call the fire department. I was alone in the restaurant, so you get in trouble. I was like, you get in trouble for stuff. Anyways, I think I just put as much water as I could. It was hard to put out. That's the thing. But what was gross was it was somebody's stanky nicotine and lipstick and all that stuff. Hold on, I gotta come up. Hello, folks. Sorry, I was back talking about something gross a minute ago. Tea water is hot. I used to never boil my water. I don't know if I boiled it, but the tea kettle, it's kind of got no settings on it. So you just put my water on like number 4 and warm it up. Because I never wanted to cook or heat my herbs or my honey or burn my mouth because I do raw foods. And so that's really hard for me to deal with having the kettle, but I really like the kettle. I don't know whose idea it was to buy that, but we lived in a garage with no kitchen, and I guess we had a cooktop that broke with one of those copper-colored pans. But anyways, I shouldn't dwell on the fact that I try to go with the window shut, and all of a sudden I open the window. I guess I opened it in the fall, and it ends up with somebody's stinky, germy smoke with all the chemical. I was like, why does it smell like I'm gonna be sick? Like formaldehydes and all this stuff. Like, I don't know, man. This is the urban. Even though it's a rural and small town, it's still kind of urbany because it's a lot of cars, a lot of parking, a lot of buildings. All these buildings in this town, my town I grew up in, off base, their buildings were mostly 1 story, except for 2-story houses. I don't remember any stores being 2 stories. So I think there might have been an antique store, like a really old store that was 2 stories, and then it might have been. I keep having like flashbacks to this place. But on base there was a building, I think where the base commander worked, which was right inside the base. That was 3 stories, I believe. And the barracks might have been, but they had a different fire department. So the fire department's ladders go a certain height, right? I don't know. I thought it was a zoning thing. I don't know where my phone is. I don't know. I usually have it, so I just ran. So I got water. I got laundry that is full of water. I have no idea what. Oh God, I haven't seen my phone in a long time. I fell back asleep. 7 o'clock. Let me put my glasses on since I have eye strain. I am really upset right now, guys. Ooh, God, I had to clean these glasses. I'm really upset because I have money I'm waiting for, behind my task. I'm feeling discouraged with my clinic, not getting the checks in a timely manner, and I'm about to shut the doors, even though I just got, keep getting handed back the telemedicine to Vermont, so I'm paying the fees for all this stuff. Part of me just wants to give up all the business licenses and just let it go. Let the whole business go and go get a job somewhere before I get any older. I remember I said, why didn't I work any agriculture, natural resource jobs? I said, oh, I remember why. Because they all wanted you to have experience. Or if you were going to be an intern for a internship, they wanted you to have been just out of school within the past 9 months or 6 months or whatever. And I was thinking it was a catch-22. I get a degree that I get a bachelor's in science I can't ever use because all the jobs require freaking experience, and the experience needs to be fresh. I went back to school to become a doctor, but I also went to school in natural medicine, which, I mean, think about the forestry classes and the other biology classes, and I mean, I had to take all that stuff from med school. All that stuff, you're learning about the earth, you're learning about plants, you're learning about agriculture, natural resources, you learn about pollution. You learn all that stuff, and then you go to school and learn it again from a physician standpoint of what to do, how, when you're able to have a DEA license and do medicine, and natural medicine. So there's been a huge influx of folks going that natural route, which was not abnormal for my age, like grandma, maybe great grandparents' age, because that's what was available, was what you had. And of course there's medications, of course there was plant-based and opiates versus opioids, and people walking around on fentanyl. So it's supposed to snow here in 2 hours. There's I feel like there's such a difficult, like I tell people, I want to do what works. Why do these people keep sending me refinance your student loan? I'm just going to apply for a home loan. Like, here's the thing. You apply for a home loan, if your income is only $5,000, or say $6,000 a year, $500 a month, why can't you get a mortgage for $200 a month? Why can't you get a mortgage for $80 a month? Like, it'd be I'll pay the 35% down to finance some lot in somewhere where I can be licensed in. So I'm in a toss-up today because the money is dripping away between maintaining the clinic and going full forth. I don't think I said that right, because it's the 13th of February. I am still on jury duty to call until Friday, March 1st. So I haven't been seeing patients, even though I've been squeezing people in here and there, but it's been so overwhelming for me. Do I just go out for a job right now and say, forget about the clinic? Insurance isn't paying. The customers aren't paying. It's been a mess. I've been trying to do all this stuff with insurance. I've been trying to do stuff for doula, birth assistant, all these different things. People aren't calling me. They don't call me in. I don't get paid. They don't pay me. I don't get called in. Or I don't allow myself to get called in. So I am spent since 2022 going all out for my job from June, July 22 to 23, and then now halfway point from another half a year from like June, July 23 till now February 24. Part of me just says to sit in front of that file cabinet, go through everything, reset stuff up, reset up appointments, get yourself, you got 2 people waiting to see you on a Saturday, but I'm using the excuse of the jury duty, but the only thing is, it's an excuse, but when I start calling people back, I'm going to these stupid doctor's appointments, I have a breast exam on suspicious lump in my breast on Tuesday, the day after tomorrow. I'm scared to death. Everyone's like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, you're fine, you're healthy, blah, blah, blah. How do you know? I hope that I am healthy. I did some of my little tricks and natural health stuff on myself. But that's another thing that's keeping me from doing my work. So trying to homestead in the home and run a business, I feel like it's conflicting. And I feel like the biggest conflict is not having a space where people can come. You know what I mean? Not having a space where people can come. And I think that I potentially, now it's the middle of the month, missed out on some billing, that I have been so overwhelmed. I have the physical therapy not scheduling me out for more than 2 weeks. I could probably call today and schedule out for the week after next. Part of me is like, I don't even care. I'll just cancel. If I have jury duty, I'll just cancel, because I'm tired of sending jury duty letters. I wanted to have everything. Like, we can't schedule out more than 2 weeks. That's a pain in my butt. Well, I thought last year they said schedule out. Maybe it was 2 weeks. They told me to call a month because I was going to be gone. That I was sick. And counseling, everything I requested, they didn't give me. So I'm like, really mad about it. I don't know how to explain it. I wanted hybrid, I wanted cognitive behavioral therapy, and I wanted EMDR. They're not doing any of that. And they specifically asked, do you want online, in person, or hybrid? I said, let's try the hybrid. But I really wanted to say, let's do online only, but I wanted the EMDR. So I said hybrid, so that when I do that, I can do that in person. So I'm just 2 weeks, I think I did appointments. I'm anxious, I couldn't sleep, toss and turn, my eyes hurting me. And I'm like, they're like, oh, we need to think about your treatment plan. And I was just like, what about the 3 things I asked for? So every time I say hybrid or online, this counselor just shakes her head. I'm like, shake your head? Like, they gave me an option. And it's just, this is what's hard. You got one streamlined place with a lot of people working, a lot of money's coming in. They have all these fundraisers and grants they're talking about. I looked them up online. There's places in multiple places. Push your people in, push your people out. Got a whole bunch of people working there, making their money, making their money, making their money. Am I getting better? Am I getting support? No. But someone I go to that's like me, it's kind of flaky. They're working from their home, they're in their house, they're in their car, they're rushing back from an appointment, there's someone in crisis, and they're the only one who can handle it, and they're not having their chart notes. But they're personable, and they say, oh, you can call and contact me anytime. Oh, you can talk about this. And I'm like, I like that. We need to, people that are like me, we need to get together. We need to be doing real work with our organizational skills to be up to par, more, or whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but I think that's the issue, though. It's not about The more money a place makes, the more staff they can put on. The more staff they can put on, the more intakes and pre-intakes and scheduling people they can get, because they actually have people answering the ringing phones for 8 hours a day on the computers, right? So it's like when you're working for yourself, you're working and you're on calls, you're on in appointments. You can't be answering the phone to take calls, and you're not checking emails and faxes while you're face to face with the patient or a client. I kind of had to stiffen myself because I had some really bad patients, some really disrespectful people I don't feel safe around. I gotta check. There's a lot of stuff I gotta check. Here's what I'm thinking. Energy pull, energy pull. Keep on keeping on with what I'm doing. And the energy I focus into trying to get a job. I'm thinking of getting a job with the federal government, guys. So I can get some insurance, life insurance, get a decent, livable wage, have a consistent income so I can go and buy me a house on the border of DC and Maryland, and my second house on the border of Washington, Oregon. And then I could do my Vermont house. 3 houses I want. So I can go to work. Like, what if I did that for 10 years and then went back to medicine? Or what if I just got like crazy and just... Like, the only other thing I could think about, which I think would be awful for my health, is to start working at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. and getting the... Because this is the problem. We're already getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning and I'm exhausted. By the time my mind really wakes up at 3:30, I'm exhausted by 5. But 5:15, I want to go to sleep. And we often have events either at 4:45 or 6 or 5:30. That should be a time when people can settle down, but that's when I'm just getting started. And by the time if I woke up on my own, it'd be between 6 and 9. So I'm losing on like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, 2 to 5 hours of sleep. I'm missing out on. I was hoping that a counselor could help me with talking through what I could do. Like, someone's like, why don't you do your work early in the morning? I told them my brain starts to really work well at 3:30. I'm most effective then. But that's the most time that I'm out, taking a walk before dark, going to the post office before, because we had to pick up some important mail that stressed me out. That was, they knocked and everyone heard the knock, but we didn't answer the door. This counselor told me, why don't you wake up earlier and do your work? The point is, if I was listening to a patient or client who said that, I would say, why don't you wake up later and stay up later? I said between 3:30 p.m. and midnight. That's my sweet spot for doing work. That was the sweet spot for studying when I was in medical school, medical graduate school. And yeah, it's hard when you got to wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning. It's harder if you got to wake up at 3 because you have a stupid inspection. So I got a lot of distractions besides my own distractions that consume my time and make me feel like I'm about to be homeless in a second. Like, for this month, what do we got? 2 weeks, because we got a short month. So it's the 13th. I just had to convert my bills. I had facepalmed myself all week when I saw bills going through. I gotta change one of my organizations. So I'm about to go get my tea, y'all. Let's look at my schedule first of all. I think So right now I'm going to do work in a few minutes. It's supposed to snow at 9. Between 9, or between, sorry, about 7:30 to 11:30 I'm going to do work. And then we got stuff to do, I guess, from 2 till... Here's what happens. You usually don't see me filming at this time. I like to do a lot of physical activity from now. I like to be making food, getting stuff in the dehydrator so I have something for dinner. I like getting my morning drink. I like getting my games and my Spanish out of the way. I like to go through all of my work stuff to make sure that I have my work and personal business stuff. Like personal business, like appointments and deadlines and stuff. I like to see my schedule for the day. I like to check to make sure I don't have messages, or sometimes people do appointment requests. I like to check all that stuff, guys, and do some physical activity before the store opens, which I'm going to be doing here in a minute. Sit down at my computer, start getting some paperwork done, forms, taxes, all that kind of stuff. Try to get that stuff pumped out. Get the mail. Yesterday I went to Free Bread, expired bread place. I like to get the mail. I almost feel like going to the regular food pantry, but I ate some of the spinach from last night, or that we got yesterday. What else? I found a bunch of freeze-dried fruit. I got some pineapple. I think this is the only pineapple, and I'm going to eat it and do some probiotics. And then around 2:30, it's almost like that feeling when you wake up an hour before you have to go get ready to do stuff. You kind of wake up slow and want to meditate and drink tea. So at like 2:30, I'm going to look at the clock, 2:30, 2:45, I start feeling like I want to do my morning stretch, check and make sure I check the supplements, get my water, get some tea, go get a snack. And my mind starts to say, hey, what's such file you're working at? Oh yeah, those phone calls you got to make. Oh yeah, such and such. And then I'll go and start going through the file, getting on the EHR typing. I said, why am I so energetic all of a sudden when I've been up for 12 hours? And then I look at the clock. And it's like, oh, it's 3:30. Oh, it's 3:15. Oh, it's 3:45. I do a lot of classes from 2 to 3 also. And then I'm like, why am I so energetic? And then all heck usually breaks loose. There's usually, oh, we got to go for a walk. Oh, if we need to run an errand and get done before our 6 o'clock appointment. Oh, well, if I need to make phone calls and stuff, someone else is making noise. Like, I had some phone calls, etc., yesterday. My partner's phone was making all kinds of noise right next to me, and I was like, this is really unprofessional. It's bad enough when it's my phone, but I have the ringer on, but it doesn't usually make noise when a text comes through or even a phone call. I miss like everything. When the emails come through, it doesn't make noise. The only thing that makes noise, like if I set up something on Facebook Messenger or something on WhatsApp, it starts making noise and I have to go and adjust the settings again for the notifications. I don't like to have the notifications going off unless it's the text or phone calls. Or my alarm. My alarms, I don't even have a sound coming through the daily schedule. So I was really mad. So stuff like that where it's like someone else is distracting me. But what I want to do today is an energy assistance form. I don't give a crap. I'm going to do it. I think we're going to do it right now. If I have to come in here and tell, like, there's 2 charts I want to shut down, and I want to send somebody some invites to a place and anyways, there's 2 charts that I want to shut down today and do the energy assistance form, and then I got to do some more paperwork and some more billing. So that's about 5 things. If I had to come in here when somebody else is here or go in the bathroom and give you like okay, it would be like all of them maybe. And tell you how many of those tasks, because the thing is, I'm not writing down those tasks. I used to write down like an ADHD checklist, but it was mostly start laundry, drink a tea, drink another tea. It was like stuff that I always do. Was like kind of like use the toilet, brush your teeth. Like it wasn't anything immaculate. Like go check those 3 charts that you needed to shut down, kind of thing. So I might jump on here and do a silent video. And if I didn't get anything done, I guess I'll go like this. I'll just be like type it in the description box. Thank you for future donations that will be coming in from now until eternity. Thank you for guiding me to decide if I need to finance a $20,000 lot through a USDA, that I could finance a $20,000 lot with a low income. Because I got two people that would need to be on the application. So that's what I should finish today first, is that, and then deal with the other stuff later. Praying that I get my checks. I can look online and see if the checks were cut. They were approved. One was approved. I didn't check the other one, and it should have been sent out weeks ago. But Blue Cross Blue Shield, the one I use for my billing, has been absolutely out. So I should check the other one I'm in network for. Is it Premier or Anthem? I can't remember. I need to check the other one. Peace, guys. I'm gonna go and get my tea. I'm motivated today. I try to take the energy. I said if I'd sat down and did a job for somebody else, then I would be doing one job, not 15 jobs. And I would get paid for one job, which is more, because when I'm doing 15 jobs, nothing gets done, and I get paid 0. And I sit at my computer 8 to 12 hours every day. Actually, I had 2 hours of echo classes. I don't know what to do. I was hoping that I can have a life person, an elder, a mentor, a counselor, therapist, doctor help me, a friend, a colleague, a peer, my child. I don't know. I was hoping to have somebody help me, like homeopathy, kind of like get my body to get tweaked so that it pushes itself into the direction. And I actually have been given a homeopathic remedy recently, so that motivated me in, was it October, November, to get the DC license. I just did the DEA certificate application, and I had somebody send in me something from Washington State to do a license for midwifery there. I think it's an LM out there. I believe I still have to take, you have to get 100% on the state exam, and you have to take the national exam, last I heard, but it's not a choice on there anymore, so I don't know. I might have waited too long. There's a bunch of programs that I could have done. I wonder if I could take the midwifery. You know what I'm going to do, which I hate to say? I'm going to play my game a little bit. I'm going to study for that national midwifery exam, guys. Because I'm about to get my midwifery for Vermont. I'm about to be hopping on a train, plane, automobile to Vermont and start delivering. Like, I'm about to do co-care. Like, if somebody knows they're having a birth with a different provider, but they want to do co-care. So I'm going to go ahead and get that license, the full license with the endorsement on it. And then I got to figure out about, I was taking a look at the meds. And I think, I don't usually like to do, I might already have it open. Let's see. Let's go ahead and look. Let's look at Vermont. Oops, this is slow. Naturopathic physician. Oops. Let's look it up together. I'm obsessed with Vermont. I have not been there. I just put Vermont. There's like a bunch of doctors popped up. I wish I could easily make a association dues for someplace. Like, they should give it to you, like, if you've only been licensed for, if you just got licensed. They should make the state association cheaper. They're usually super expensive. Here's the application. My computer is acting slow. I'm trying to figure out when it expires. Ooh, it's really slow. I'm gonna have to. I got like 10 zillion pages open. Let's see. I cannot see the camera anymore. I'm trying to make sure I'm still recording. Oh my goodness, it's so slow. I might have to come back to you guys. I'm getting frustrated here. I accidentally pushed this button and I don't want this button. Oh no, I just messed it up. Because I lost the page that I got taken to. Do you ever get intimidated when you go to a state website for the Secretary of State of any state? I don't know what they have, or Washington DC, but do you ever like get nervous when you see the people staring at you? The Secretary Copeland Hanses. Hanses? Who is this? Alright. I'm gonna do it today. What did they say? I had a neighbor. This is not, I don't recommend this. But I had a neighbor. I said, I need to go back to school for medicine. Let's see. Telemedicine expires June 30th. I'm trying to figure out where I kind of want the paper application. This is an interim. What's a regular telemedicine one? I should go to that one. Telehealth, because I think there's a full telehealth medicine, that's not an interim one. Let's just not click on anything. I might have to come back to you guys about this. Let's see. I'm trying to decide. I don't want to be clicking on stuff. I think there's an actual regular telehealth license and a interim regular telehealth and a full license. I'm gonna figure this out because I don't want to start clicking on stuff and applying to stuff. Here, see, this wasn't in place before. I think that's why they kept extending my interim. So telehealth regulation and licensing. So the interim. So yeah, the telehealth registration and telehealth license is not in effect until rules are in place. So they said check back for updates. So a total of not more than 10 unique patients or clients for a period of not more than 120 consecutive days from the date of the telehealth registration was issued. Consecutive days, doesn't that sound crazy? Like, does that mean if you worked 119 days and you took a day off and came back, or does it actually mean? So this is once every 3 years. So regular telehealth license is 0 to 20 unique patients in 2 years. You cannot provide in-person care. So if you were actually in Vermont, you had to do it like in a hotel while they're in their state, which includes midwifery, which I noticed during COVID, and naturopathy. So I'm going to come back to this because this is the same as it was. They have the interim, but they don't have the regular license. But I was mainly trying to look up when the regular license expires. Let's see if I can find that real fast. It's Teton, guys. It's more than past Teton. So forms and instructions. Course provider fee exemption. See if there's a FAQ. I feel like I should just click on the license. I'm trying to see. Why am I being asked to renew my initial license before the 2-year period is up? So I think it depends. It's just, yeah, biennial. So when's the biennial license policy? 92. So it says fixed 2-year cycle. Your initial license will set to expire on the professions cycle. After your first renewal, your license will be issued for 2 full years. So I think if you get it 90 days or less, they're going to grant you the kind of grace period in the 90 days and give you 2 full years. But what I don't know is, like in this state, naturopaths do it on, what is this year? On even? Link is invalid. On even years. Wait, every 2 years? Is it every 2 years or every 3 years? I don't think 3 years. They have my notary and my loan signing stuff too. I think it's every 2 years on even years. I gotta do my naturopath. For here. That's gonna cost me another $500 or $600, and I have my malpractice insurance. It's gonna be another $500 or $600. So I'm gonna get off here. I don't have the money. All of my jobs need to work and get the money that they need. So I'm gonna do what I can here, and I need to go through. I went through one of my boxes hoping I'd find some food. I found some seaweed, which I could put seaweed in the dehydrator or eat it in a bowl, like wet it down and put spices on it, which is surprisingly good. And it's surprisingly good with tomato, like either regular tomato or cut in slices or dehydrated tomato. So I'm normally good together. And I'm normally good with some oil and red pepper flakes. So I'm gonna go get my tea. I'm really overwhelmed by this because it's not telling me what the... Oh, come on, guys. Let's just do it. Let's stop looking at FAQs and all this. Let's just look at the application. This is instructions. Al fresco. Ooh, this is a blur, at least in my glasses. It could be both. Submit an online application. Endorsement. Upload proof of 30 hours of CE. 5 credits must be. What? I don't even. Okay, I gotta. Guys, this is too much. There's a couple. So there's endorsement for meds, endorsement for childbirthing. I'm just gonna do it, guys. Why am I gonna sit 1,000 miles away? Because I can be to New York City, was it in 3 hours or 6 hours? I could be in New Jersey in like 2 hours. Like, I could be in Philadelphia in 2 hours. We used to go to Pennsylvania for my one of my government jobs. Like Pennsylvania, I could be in Philly, I could be in New York City, and technically I just go through New York, Connecticut, and then Vermont. Cut over. I had to go through Mass. What is it? Massachusetts? I got New Hampshire, Vermont. I always remember Vermont because it's like shaped like a V to me. Does anyone else see that? I gotta get my tea because I'm driving myself crazy. This is too overwhelming, too expensive. I'm doing something because something's driving me to do it. Just like something's driving me to buy land and grow my own food, even if it ends up in containers because of the wildlife, because of ticks, because of whatever else I'm scared of. There's people talking about trying to do their garden and they're in a wheelchair. I knew someone who was in a scooter, and they built raised beds in the yard, and they put down gravel, and she put in new dirt, so she gave me the old dirt, but they put down gravel enough that her scooter could go, and so they didn't necessarily pave it or anything, but they made it accessible, and she got stuck a few times, which was kind of difficult to see, but it was definitely nice because she could be in their chair and do the gardening, you know, and I think about people that have disabilities that are visible, and those of us who have invisible and visible ones, but the invisible ones are not taken seriously in anything, or you're penalized for it. If you get any accommodations, people say you're cheating. People say, don't let, if you need extra time to take a test, they're going to say you're cheating. There must be something going on, You must be doing something. Like, no, I'm just slow. Or have this PTSD, OCD, anxiety, dyslexia, all these different things. So, the yellow screen color gel is what I used. I'm going to grab one off, like Amazon or eBay today. I have a gift card. I'm about to do that. I'm going to get another color gel. That's what I was using. You know what else works, which I could probably do? Sometimes the dividers for your 3-ring notebook, they have the clear ones with the blue and the yellow. They're kind of dark, but I was doing that during med school, and that's one thing that I'm not doing all the time. I do notes with yellow paper, but I don't put the screen on my devices. So, and you could certainly take notes in Word and like turn the paper yellow or turn the page yellow. When I studied for my loan signing agent course, or when I took the exam in a crowded place during COVID that was noisy, you can't even bring in your own earplugs, you have to use theirs. It was a nightmare. Like, it was noisy, it was crowded, there's people right next to you, and there's people that walk in and out and like spray down the chairs and stuff with chemicals, like that. All of that, to me, for someone who's highly sensitive and who needs testing accommodations, which I didn't seek. Thank God that I passed the test. That was I think that was the first computerized test I ever did that my life was on the line for. And not my life, but it felt like it at the time because I needed work. And that was also the first that I didn't really have accommodations. And it was a nightmare, and I'm just so grateful that I passed, because I wouldn't want to. And our car broke down when we got there. The sign on the door said, do not come in. I think an email said, do not come in. And when I came in, she said, you almost missed a test. You needed to arrive at least 20 minutes before your test time. And I was like, everything said wait in their car. Do not come in until their test. Like, I swear that it said it online. I don't know if it said it on the door. But I was like, you all need to, I saw a bunch of people going in and waiting in the waiting room, and I was like, am I the only one that read the instructions? The instructions are wrong. So, you ever see that? People say, don't do this or do this, and you're the only one that doesn't or does, and then you get penalized for it, and nobody else is sitting in their cars like, well, I don't think they read the instructions 10 times before in the past 2 weeks before they came here. Reading them again at 3:30 in the morning because I tossed and turned. Like, I have issues. And so that was the first test. The state part was actually harder than I expected. There's very few questions. You get very few wrong. And they just changed the test, which I heard the one from a different tester was more straightforward. This one, they probably changed it since this was the very first time they did it through Prometric, and it was a nightmare, and it was hard to study for. So this is totally changed. So I bought a test, or course. You had to take a pre-test to pass before you can even register, and your instructor needs to send that to the state. She had let us redo the practice test over and over again. So I redid the practice test. I got so many notes. I printed this stuff up or hand wrote or whatever, the questions that I got wrong and the ones I got right. It was a stack of paper, a bunch of stuff on the computer. I did have yellow clips for my other pair of glasses that I thought I could use while I'm inside. So I might have to start doing that again. There's things that I learned in med school that I got through med school. And I was doing fine at first, but you need to streamline, especially as a single parent. You need to streamline. You have a job, you have clinic shifts, you have preceptor shifts, you're doing births, on call 24/7. You got 2 kids that have nobody else in their life but you. You have no money for anything. You have to figure out how to go buy bulk food. Like if you only got like $3, if you can go buy bulk, you can buy a tiny bit of this and a tiny bit of that. Not much, but if you have $3 and there's no bulk section, what are you going to buy at a store? A granola bar? Like, that would take $3 itself. Like, if you lived on the street and couldn't get any water from anywhere, like during COVID, all the bathrooms and stuff were closed down, you'd have to go in somewhere and buy some water. Can't even do that anymore. I used to be able to get little gallons for like 75 cents. I don't know if Walmart has that. I'm going to tell you guys tomorrow because I got to get some, if I can get on here tomorrow, because we got to get some water. This is too overwhelming. I'm totally like, feel like I can't deal with it. And this is on top of the other work that I have to do. But I'm torn between just starting to apply for jobs. Every time for this past year and a half, I said, stop looking at jobs. My partner said, stop looking at jobs and just do the focus on your work. And I didn't do any loan signing, no notary. I'll do notary if someone calls me directly. But I've only had one call. I got to check and see when that was for my taxes. So I had to redo the taxes that charged me taxes on my notary signing. So bad, guys. So much trouble. This life can be hard. I hope you guys are doing better than I am because I'm really struggling. But I'm a lot of what I'm struggling is I'm trying to help family members with stuff. And it's like me using my fuel for others, but not being refueled myself. Like draining out my fuel tank and not having that restored unless I get sick or just have a nervous breakdown. I can't do anything. And then it's like, it's a nightmare. I don't like, I wonder what it would be like. Be careful what I wish for. I just need a break. Like, I wonder if I had got my land like I told you guys I was going to do and just go park my butt there for a week and just take a hard look at self and make sure I'm not scapegoating or blaming other people, or make sure that when I traveled and I was kind of alone in the airport and stuff, and I was sick with COVID before that, and I thought I was going to die. I felt like I was going to die. I had a whole another look on how challenging it is and how alone you can be in the world. There's no one there to give you. Like, my neighbors that are from Northern Africa and the Middle East, they lose a job, they get sick, they get injured, they get in an accident. The community that they came from, their relatives, their neighbors, their friends, they come together and pool their money for them to pay their rent. They go to welfare, they go to food stamps, they get denied. Oh, you lost your job, too bad. Well, your income was too high last month. You made $1,000 last month, so you can't get welfare, even though you have a letter that says you lost your job. Oh, you can't qualify for unemployment because whatever reason we're going to make up. Because you got laid off before, didn't apply, and you got rehired, you only worked for a year instead of 18 months or whatever the minimum is. And then I say, how did you pay your rent? Oh, they lowered my rent and my community came together. Oh, how did you deal with your car? Oh, insurance finally came, told my car is totaled. And I have some family and friends come and help me get a new car. New car is falling apart. Got it. Family come over, fix the brakes, fix this, change the tires, change the transmission, whatever, And I'm like, that's awesome. Your community came together. They drove you to the store. They help you get food for your kids. And then they contact me in the middle of the night and contact these people. I need milk for my kid. I need a ride. I need a jump start. Because they're used to community helping. I was like, oh, you community, you guys help each other. But you guys never help me. I had help a couple of times. I did pay some people for some rides or some stuff that I had. Some kind of very urgent things. So I kind of paid them for it. But I'm not even used to that in a neighborhood that's not like that. And my dad had neighbors struggling. He's getting on the phone and laugh and say he's making fun of them and showing off in front of them what he had and how little they had. And I don't want to be that kind of an American, you know. But as an American, I can get looked at as wealthy and as well-to-do because I'm educated and so-called well-spoken. And I was like, I grew up here. How am I supposed to speak, guys? You know? And my parents were always correcting my grammar on everything. How do you go about being ripped off? Giving. Not giving to even receive back, but giving until you're depleted. Somebody posted a quote the other day. You can never give too much. Like, you can never donate too much. I'll be the first to raise my hand and say, yes, you can. I give and donate and give money, and then I can't even pay my own rent and my own bills. And I'm volunteering because I can't get a job, and now that I signed a paper that says I'm volunteering, I'm not able to do the job because it conflicts with my volunteers. So then I have to quit that, and then I look like a bad guy. I'm never going to get a note that says she was a great volunteer because you just bailed on it, you know, out of desperation to keep from living in the Walmart parking lot, right? I hate this. So I've definitely been one that's given too much, and I regret it. And I think people that, I mean, would you, if you had $1 million policy, 401k or something, and you're about to retire in 3 years, would you just go give that away right now? Like, would you really? And now are you going to pay your HOA for your condo that you already paid off? How are you going to keep your car maintained? How are you going to supplement any income so that you can actually buy food and medicine, pay for your Medicare insurance and all this supplemental plan? You know what I mean? Like, I want to see somebody that has billions, millions, tens, $5 in the bank account say that you can't give too much, and you give. When I was in church, they said, give, it'll be a blessing. God will reward you. I gave, and me and my kids did without. And we weren't really rewarded. And I don't want it to be a cause and effect. I want to have the Holy Spirit, the higher power, God, my Creator, say, give today. Give that person $1. Give this person $35. Go volunteer 3 hours at this place. And then be done. I don't want to feel obligated. Because nowadays they want to get you like a subscription. They want to get you credit card on file, authorized to deduct it every month, no matter if you're broke or not. Oh, I just gave you $10,000 and I missed 3 weeks of work because of COVID. Too bad, you pay us anyways. No discounts, no refunds. No refunds. They don't even send you a get well soon card. So you definitely give and you give and you give until you and your kids have nothing. You're homeless, living on the ground in a tent. And then you feel like an idiot because you listened to some advice from some wealthy people, like the Pharisees that gave big heavy coins from the last of their paycheck, not from the first, or not the last of their money like the old lady did. Peace, guys. This is getting too crazy. I'm making myself mad. I'm mad at myself. The biggest anger that I have at myself is being distracted too much and being really slow. One thing I hated my ex-husband saying is, you can do stuff sometimes, but you're really slow. And he's the first one, because I was trying to clean and do stuff. But of course it's slow, and you got everybody making a mess on top of me trying to clean. You ever do that with, like, a sloppy spouse and 2 toddlers? You clean up this side of the room, and you're all into it, and you go to clean the other side of the room, and you're all into it, and 2 hours later you look back, and whatever you just cleaned is completely destroyed. You learn your lesson. You're like, wow, I was so into it, and I was so excited, I was giving it my all. You ever just do that where you just clean your whole house and you're exhausted? I used to do that all the time. You're so exhausted, like you're pregnant and cleaning, or you're nesting, or you're just being you, and you just feel like you're going to die, and for like 5 days you don't feel like getting out of bed, but everybody in your family wants to do something. They want to nurse. They need to go to the grocery store. You need to make food. You need to clean this. You need to change cloth diapers that you have to hand rinse and hand wash and hang out on the line and do this. I've done this my whole life. And I watch people have babies and they have their relatives come and visit and help with the baby and do laundry and cook food. And I'm like, wow, I've never had that happen. I had COVID the first time. My partner went and got me a juice, and that's what I could say. He went and got me a juice. But that was in 2021. So that's why I said, what would I do if I sat in a house by myself for a week and just looked at myself in the mirror and breathed for the first time? I love my family and I love to be available, but I am getting so sickly and so overwhelmed and so like perimenopausal and achy, and that there's no respite. And the respite people go around, oh, she's sick, oh, she's late, she don't do anything, got a late start. Not a late start. You do what I was doing for an hour today. You do that for, like, sometimes they say stuff like that. It's because I exercised and got on Just Dance and did some yoga and meditation. Like, I'm being productive for myself for a change. I'm not doing productive to do for everyone else. I get tired, guys. I don't like this pressure. A lot of women can feel this. Men can feel a different pressure. All the men in my life got paid more per hour than I ever did. But women, especially black women, feel this constant tug of, my mom would always say, I need to get something productive done. I need to get something. Always feeling like when you're exhausted and you just work 3 full-time jobs and you fall asleep on the couch, microwave your dinner and feel absolutely guilty, ashamed. Partners giving you looks like you're not doing enough. And they spend your money, put you in debt, sell your house for $5,000 on 3 acres with 5 outbuildings. I can't take it, guys. I gotta get my tea.